sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of rich jackasses, I don't know if y'all, I don't know if y'all have seen the latest results for the 2024 election, but what's the phrase? Your big beefy boy is back in the. Your big beefy boy is back in the office, man. He's coming back again.
Hey, that might be Trump's nickname from now on, man. Big beefy.
Nah, I got
boy.
that shit from a Sound Piker.
Yeah.
But yeah, he called him his big beefy, big sweaty
Triple
beefy
B,
boy.
man. Big beefy boy, man.
Yeah, it was it. So goddamn Trump is on the fucking way back, man. Kamala Harris lost the election, and the Republicans won. I think it was the House and Senate. Yeah.
Excuse me.
So
You know, I think we could all see this coming after what happened with Biden back in the summer, and
oof,
you
that
know,
was rough.
him kind of being like a puppet president, and Kamala Harris taking the forefront. And I think we all knew this was coming, man. I think the Dems were just too disarrayed and out of whack, and nobody had faith in those guys. And you know, but like I was telling you before, Kaz, I don't sense the anger around, for at least from people I talk to. Like I remember the first time they got elected, people were genuinely angry. You know, like I can't believe this shit. People were crying, and maybe it's like one of those soft disclosure kind of things where like we're used to the idea of him now. So now that he's president-elect for the second term, it's like it's okay. We're kind of used to the idea. It's like, oh, here we go again. Versus, fuck, I can't believe this is happening. You know, so.
Yeah, maybe. Like, it could be some of that.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's, I don't know, it's hard to say, but like I think there's some, I don't know. I think I can only speak for myself, but like for a lot of people that I've actually spoken with about it, it's like, yeah, there's like alarm, there's anger. People feel a certain kind of way, but it is, I think, when it comes down to it, like we've been through it, you know, and we just gotta do what's best for us now and whatever.
Yeah, like my I was saying before, like kind of feels like people are just kind of like reserved to have to like. Nah, we've done this before, and then now people are just kind of like there's no point in complaining about it. Like
it is what it is. Like it happened.
Yeah, you know? It happened. Like motherfucker won, and now we are all kind of just waiting to see what the fuck is about to happen. Nothing's happened yet, right?
Not in office yet.
Not yet, but shit is like I feel like everybody. I don't know if you're paying attention to politics, if you're watching the shit, you're just kind of like watching his picks, and you're watching the stuff coming out of his camp, and you're watching all that stuff, and you're just like, you're just kind of bracing. You know, like there's not a whole lot of thrashing left to do. We just kind of got to brace. You know, I don't know, man. So I guess like my biggest question is like, what do you guys think happened, man? What do y'all think it was?
As far as
why did Kamala lose? Why do you think Trump got such a clear win on this one?
I think, and I'll be straight up. I think her campaign was dog shit.
Really?
Lack of faith in a Democratic plan and vision.
Yeah. Her campaign was pretty much non-existent. She also went after the wrong demographic, right? Like it really fucking sucks to say this, but like it's just like because she's black and she's a woman, they said like, oh, we got that on lock. So let's go after young white Gen Z professionals, working professionals, and let's go after them as the demographic of choice because we need their vote too, because we got black people and women on lock. And that was extremely, like, there was a lot of hubris with the way they went about that. Instead of ignoring instead of ignoring the people that you thought that you had on lock. You should have also embraced that side of your campaign as well, that side of your outreach as well, and they failed to do that. Also, on that note, I heard almost nothing from Kamala's campaign. No commercials, nothing at all from her campaign. Like, I don't remember anything from her campaign. Like, like, unless you really looked, it was there, of course, but like there was nothing that stood out from her campaign enough for me to just be like, oh, hey, I remember she said this, or there was this thing that she did, or this place that she went to, or whatever. I think her campaign failed. I think the Democratic, like the way they campaigned for her and the way it was run, it failed miserably. And I think because of that lent credence to why she lost the way she did when it came to election day. Right? Trump was clearly in the lead the entire time. Right? There was like maybe a couple of points where she caught up. She came close in the electoral votes. But Trump was in the lead the entire fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was wild.
The Republican campaign, like, like whatever, like the Republican campaign was a lot more I'm trying to find the right word, but it was a lot more
they had one message.
There was more aggressive. It was a lot more aggressive than the Democratic campaign like ever could be. And I even think the Dems realized that they fucked up in this case with the way they ran things. So
I think the Dems were in a very unique position because of what happened with Biden and Kamala having to be forced to the forefront. I don't think Kamala may have been their top choice to run. I mean,
she was not.
She was
not their top choice. She was the
not
default choice. She was
the
default choice. She was not their top choice. You're right.
Effectively, Biden kind of like he what'd you call it? He like sanctified her.
Hands.
Yeah.
Biden put her up as soon as it was determined that he was gonna have to step down because Nancy Pelosi and essentially Barack Obama, the fucking the DNC apparatus, after that debate with Trump, the apparatus turned on him.
Mm-hmm.
And my understanding is that like they wanted to do a fast primary to pick a new runner, but instead when Biden said he dropped out, remember immediately, like it was like a week, not even a week, it was like an hour later. It was like an hour later. He was like, "Oh yeah, and I nominate, Kamala Harris. She's going to be running for the president now." And apparently, he forced their hand to have to back Kamala because he had put all his, clout behind her.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of how it went down. And then,
yeah, like that's also true. Like she was not their first choice. Right? Like she was the default choice.
Trump and his side was already a little more established, and I think a lot of voters turned out for Trump just because of their lack of trust in American politics, right? Like I've always said that the one appealing thing about Trump is, yes, he's racist, yes, he's flawed, yes, he's mean.
That's a hard start for this. I'm curious what you're gonna say next.
He's a human being.
You know what's good about him? You know what I mean? Yeah, he's racist. Yeah, he's evil. Yes, he hangs out with Epstein. He's probably touched a lot of young people. But
he's a human being, Juice. He's a human. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't put on the same rhetoric. He doesn't put on the same rhetoric as Kamala Harris or as Joe Biden or as anyone he runs against, right? Like I think people will trust that flaw in him, right? That he's not the person that he's projecting out there to be, right? Like, when you hear the same rhetoric come from, this Republican nominee's voice and this Democratic nominee's voice, and they're both essentially saying the same thing, just in a different way. And think that's falling deaf on people's ears. And the one redeeming thing with Trump is he's human. He has flaws, right? Like he doesn't try to sugarcoat or say that, hey, this is how this is. You know, he doesn't tell you what you want to hear. He'll tell you things that make you angry, which is what human beings do, right? So I think that's where and like I said, the unique situation for the Democrats around this time, I think that's what led to everybody backing Trump, because it's just like, you know, they don't have their shit together. What other choice do we have? We got to go with this guy now, you know? So yeah, let's put all our backing behind him.
I will refute that. I will refute that by simply saying racism and bigotry and misogyny were also huge factors as to why Kamala lost. People would rather see
I'll definitely say
a
bigotry.
racist white male,
Rich.
racist white rich male in office versus a black woman, or just a woman in general. They would rather
also
see.
like to point out, we don't know if Joe Biden is any less racist than Donald Trump. Joe Biden just hasn't said anything racist. That don't mean
He
he
said
ain't.
racist shit. What are you talking about?
Sure,
He's
I mean,
But
like,
there you
Joe
go.
Biden
There you
has
go.
definitively said racist shit before.
There you
He
go.
is less
You know?
racist than Trump.
Wasn't Joe Biden behind a lot of mass incarceration back in the 90s and everything? So
I
I mean, there
think
you go.
the 90s
At
were
least one
behind a
thing with
lot
Trump
of
is
mass
at least one thing
incarceration.
with Trump that'll make you respect it is he'll tell you he's racist. I respect somebody who tells me you tell me straight to my face I hate niggers. Now I might not like you, right? I'll be like, yo, fuck you too, but I can respect the fact that you're honest. You know what I'm saying? Now I know you
I
don't
don't
like black
respect
That's a
people,
that.
but
weird
you go
thing.
this way, you know?
That's so weird.
I don't
I don't know.
respect that.
It's
I don't
it's
That's
respect
so
weird,
that.
weird.
but
Why would you
can
respect
respect
that?
the honesty of a person over me just telling you what you want to hear just so I can
If
please
the
you. Then
person
when your
told
back
you
turns,
I eat
I
shit,
say something
you
totally
be like,
different.
hey, at least you told me the truth. I
Yes,
respect you for
100%.
telling me the truth that you eat shit. That's a
100%.
weird thing to say, but I thank you
100%.
for telling me,
So you would rather vote for Joe
and
Biden,
then
who will
I'll
go in
vote
a
for you.
room and
Like, that's
behind a
a
locked
weird
door
thing.
and say
Like,
he's racist?
huh?
So wait. So you'd rather vote for Joe Biden, who will go behind a locked door and say he's racist behind your back instead of to your face, than for Trump, who'll tell you he's racist to your face?
100%.
Like, so now you know I don't like you. You know it. But you'll vote for the guy who says he likes you in your face, but don't
Why
really
would
like
I
you
vote
behind
for the
closed doors.
guy I know doesn't like me? How does that help me?
Well, how does it help you voting for the guy who really don't like you but says he likes you to your
Because
face?
hey,
Because you don't know that.
there's you don't know. You
You don't
literally
know
You
it.
don't
There
think
you
know
go.
that.
So how can you
you
respect that?
so
How can you
you're just
respect him enough to throw your vote behind
you're
him?
just assuming that
You're
he's
assuming
At
that
racist.
you'll
least,
find out.
You're just
wait, I'm
assuming
assuming
he's
what?
racist if you don't know.
You're assuming that you'll find
At
out.
least I would rather go for the person
Right.
who I think may be racist than a person that I fucking know is racist.
Well, obviously, nobody's saying you have to vote for Trump. I'm saying that's what I think. That's why a lot of people.
That's not what we were saying anymore.
I think
Okay,
that's why a lot of people
I
tend to
haven't.
lean towards Trump in this time, right? One, the disarray of the Democratic Party. Two, it's better the devil you know, right? You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's just.
I don't know.
I think it's look. So I've kind of gone back and forth on this. My first initial reaction was like, pretty much what Frank said earlier. Was that like, America would rather have a misogynist, convicted, sexual assaulter, criminal, like rich white guy who's got a million like here. I don't think it's normal for people to be criminals. But I think America would rather prefer a rich criminal sexual assaulter bigot than a black woman. That was my initial like reaction to
That's a
this.
big part of it. They would rather.
I do think I still think
they
it's a part
voted
of it.
for
Yeah.
Trump. They voted for Trump to vote against Kamala because of who Kamala was.
But like
They
after a
voted for
while,
Trump just as a vote against her.
I do think though that like that's not fully the reason though.
No, it's not.
Like as I've been like kind of going over things and like just kind of watching just interviews and then there's exit polls and there's all kinds of things and like you talk to people who voted this way, like people brought up a lot about the inflation and like in the price of everything going up. And like also I think in my opinion, I think people aren't that like invested in looking into like reasons. They like the reasons that are easy to understand, right? And one thing Trump did, I don't know if y'all watch the debates, but the debates, like Kamala won those debates. But one thing that Trump and the Republicans did every single time is they said, they were like, there's a problem in America. Prices are too high, housing is too high, all these things are bad, like, and they was like, and so we're gonna fix the problem. And that problem is immigrants. And the Democrats, I don't think did that. Like, I think when people are looking for answers, like everybody acknowledges that inflation is high. Everybody acknowledges that how like all these problems go on in America that need fixing. And the Democrats' commentary was, well, one, Kamala's commentary was, I'm going to do what Biden did. And Biden's commentary was, things are getting better. And everybody's like, everything's still bad. I think, like, I personally think that, like,
it's like the Democrats lacked focus.
Yeah, like they didn't have a good message, man. Like Kamala, I feel like I personally think Kamala ran a good campaign, right?
Okay.
Like I personally think that she, like, I don't know. I'm watching, so I know she had people going door to door. She was doing interviews. She was in DC like twice. Like she was going around the country. She did a couple interviews, but she did rallies, right? The debates were good. I think like she, like, compared to at least compared to Hillary Clinton, which, you know, we have to compare the women because that's how we do. But like compared to Hillary Clinton, she knocked it out of the park, right? Hillary Clinton was wilding. She didn't go places that I didn't fucking see her. But like Trump, on the other hand, was still out here. Like every issue they said they had a problem, he was like, yes, you're right, there's a problem. Americans are hurting. He's like, yes, you're hurting, I see it. And it's those people who are crossing the border. That's the problem. And we're gonna
solve that problem.
We're gonna solve the problem. And the Democrats was like, hey, we're gonna do it too. We're gonna solve the problem too. The immigrants are bad too. I don't know if y'all saw it, but like the Democrats, like Kamala's campaign was constantly like, the immigrant problem, we're gonna fix the problem at the border, right?
That's true.
Which I don't think is a good message for Democrats to have, right?
No,
like,
it's not.
It's a terrible. So I feel like when the Democrats are playing that game, we're gonna pretend to be like, the phrase I've heard before is Republican light. Like, you don't win by playing Republican light. You have to be for the working class, and the Democrats acted like the working class was fine, when the working class is like what normal Americans are telling them, like, yo, we're not fine.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so people didn't catch that message. They were just like, yeah, whatever. Trump said he's gonna fix it. Trump said this is the problem, and he's gonna fix it. And those are the two things. I feel like that was it, man. I don't think that, like, yeah, I just feel like, you know, in my opinion, I feel like that's kind of what was the big issue, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so now we're in a position where he's going to take power, and he's either going to create concentration camps for immigrants, or he's going to, or we're just going to be in the same position because he has no interest in actually fixing America's problems. At least by my metric of seeing how to fix them, right?
But let's try to quantify, what are most Americans' problems, right? Like, do we care about, you know, immigration as long as it doesn't affect, you know, the prices of housing and food and gas and our everyday expenses, you know? I think it comes down to just comfortability, right? People want to live comfortable lives.
Yeah.
And whichever candidate can promise us that, And I also think that, like I said, the disarray of the Democratic Party during this whole election process did not help their case. And it's also some of the devil you know versus the angel you don't factor kind of going in. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean,
Well, yeah, I think you're
most
right.
people
Like, it
are,
definitely has come down to comfortability, because like when people are paying like prices, like gas for me is, I feel like is hasn't gone up that much, but like
no, it hasn't,
prices
no.
in the stores, we've all seen those prices.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shit is high.
Milk, eggs.
Everything is up there, and like people are hurting off of that jump, man. This off of basics. You can't go to the grocery store without spending $100. Like
Dude,
that shit
dude,
hits, man. And if they
like,
don't have a plan, like here, Trump hasn't proposed a plan for that,
Yo,
right?
it's 3 of us in the house, though. I go to the store, a bill be $215. I'll be looking in the basket. Like, what the fuck is it? Hold on, man.
Yeah, like
Okay,
what
deodorant, I
the
got
come
that.
out
You
with
know
a
what I mean?
pencil
Damn.
and some
hell?
candy.
So does this deodorant have gold flecks in it? What the
Right.
fuck is this shit?
Hell,
It's
200
like,
bucks.
Yep,
but
it's
yeah,
true.
man. And then like, but Trump is just like the Republicans the whole time. They were just like, yo, it's these immigrants, man. They are making your food prices high. There's no reason that should be true.
That's
That
not
doesn't make any
logical.
sense. It's illogical. But he said that's why. So we're gonna fix it. He's the reason. These immigrants are the reason housing prices are high. Why rent is so high. There's no
That's
reason
not
that should be
logical.
the case. There's no like you. I can't see how you draw those lines together. But people who are desperate will believe anything. Like people who are in pain will do anything to stop the pain. You got a solution?
People who also don't really pay attention.
They don't
And
really
like you
pay
said,
attention.
they don't pay attention, and they want to see like what's right in front of them, and what's right in front of them is like people like the Republicans who have like a focus and a point, and the other party doesn't really have a focus or a point, and just instead of just saying things are getting better, which is very general and broad, and they're like, well, they seem to know what they want,
Mhm.
you know, and
That's a good point.
I think I'll go with them. These are for the people who are not in the know.
Yeah. Like they're just like, yeah, these guys are clear cut. Like, so we know exactly what they're talking about. Like when you act like people's pain or people's like issues aren't as bad as like somebody tells you something's
As you
going
make it
on in their
seem.
life and you're like, it's not that bad. You get a quick fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like you get a super quick fuck you. I feel
Yeah.
like that's kind of what was the Democrats said. Like here, the thing is, Kamala did propose a housing a tax credit, but that's not the issue. That's not solving the problem of raised rent. She did introduce, or she talked about keeping women's rights to choice, but like nobody believes like people believe Trump when he said that's not what he actually believes in. We'll watch this go down. What was the other thing she did propose? What was it? What was another thing, man? No one's talking about healthcare, but that wasn't it though. Because she really didn't say anything about healthcare, right? Like they really didn't say anything about that. I know Tim Walz, her VP, he was the guy who had the free kids school lunch, right? His state has free kids school lunch. I feel like they should have put that main front and center. She didn't talk about what she should have talked about was she talked about it early on, but they dropped it like almost immediately. Was childcare, right?
Oh,
I
after. Oh,
remember.
yeah. That's right.
Universal childcare.
Yeah.
Like it was proposed. People were on, but that's when she first jumped on. Like when she first jumped on, numbers, people were excited. It was hype. Like people were having, it was a good time. But then all of those like progressive, like we're gonna spend money on the working class, all those messages stopped and they got whittled down. And I feel like people want like if the Democrats want to win again, in my opinion, they gotta start like talking about things that help normal people, not not massive tax credits or that was the other thing. She said you'll get she said it was another child tax credit.
Oh yeah,
Right. It was a bigger child tax
was
credit,
it like
right?
6K or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She proposed that, and it was like, yeah, that's good, but that's not childcare, right? That's not
Yeah.
like that's not helping
That's
like that's
nothing.
a tax credit, but that's
Yeah.
not like what people are hurting off
Day-to-day
of.
expenses.
It's
Yeah.
good, but it ain't what we need. Now, Trump, on the other hand, proposed none of this. But he did say your problem is them, and I'm going to fix that. And then, of course, she's a black woman. So
There's that.
anyway,
Well, here we are, fellas. Another Donald Trump presidency. We'll see how this one goes. We survived the last one. I think we'll see it through.
I don't know,
And
man.
I think most Americans can appreciate directly telling me what's going to change in my life, right? Like Frank said, people can appreciate things that are right in front of their face. All right. And with us, with people having to work every day, and a lot of times you don't have time to pay attention, right? Like
No, you don't.
you have time to appreciate the things that are right in front of your face. And when Trump starts talking about housing and food, and those are things that are quantifiable that we see every day, so and plus I think this just all boils down to, I think people were over Trump. I think people, they didn't like him, they didn't trust him, right? But
You lost
the
big
disarray of
in
the
2020.
Democratic Party, there was no other option at this point. It's like we don't really know if what Kamala is saying is real, because up till now it wasn't her presidency. You know what I mean? So we don't even know if what she's saying is real.
Do you think that if you think Biden should have stayed?
No, he couldn't have. And that's the scary part, is because we don't know exactly when this whole medical thing happened. I still think he had a stroke or something like that, because his motor function seemed really off, and he just seemed like he couldn't move. And I still think it was something physical, like something dire, like a stroke or just something like that. I seen my grandmother having a stroke back in the day, man. That's some scary shit, man. A stroke is scary. Your face can go numb, you can lose sensories in your arms and your legs, and it begs the question of, well, who was doing Joe Biden's job after? First of all, when did this thing occur? Whatever happened with him, medical scare, Alzheimer's, whatever it is, when did this happen? And with that point in mind, who was doing Biden's job up till the point where they had the debate, when it became apparent that something was wrong with Joe Biden? You know what I mean? Like, who was the person pulling the string? I think that led to a lot of mistrust of the Democrats.
But I personally think Biden was doing most the things. Like, I don't know. I haven't seen any evidence of him not doing things. Like, he he'll talk in front of a camera when he wants to, and he'll do a press conference or whatever. Like, I don't need him to ride a bicycle, but he'd be going for walks. He'd be doing his things. Like, at the debate though, he shit the bed.
When you have to go, there's one point I do agree with. I remember when he had the debate with Trump, and they saw Trump on a golf course, and some random guy asked Trump, he's like, Trump he was the old Trump, making fun of Joe Biden. He's like, well, you have to be strong as the president of the United States. When you go to meet Kim Jong-un, and you have to be portrayed as a strong leader. He can't see any weakness in you. And I kind of agree with that, right? Like, if I'm going to talk to a leader of another country, I have to portray strength, right? It's like that old saying, who was the president who had polio? Was that
FDR?
Was it FDR? Franklin Delano? Yeah. And we never knew he had polio, right? But a lot of the video and the photos you see, he was sitting down. You know what I mean? And they didn't disclose to the public that he had polio, because they didn't want him to be seen as weak. Now, of course, obviously this is back in 1940s and shit, so it's a different time and day and age. But I think some of that lends itself into it. It's like, whenever this happened,
didn't he get elected 4 times?
FDR ran four terms.
Yeah, did he? Yeah, damn, that's crazy.
They had to put the
that's where they set the 2-term limit.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
You know why? Motherfuckers giving people shit they needed.
Yeah, true that. True that. Yep. He started a bunch of programs after World War II. Yeah.
Social Security, right? That was him, right?
Yeah.
Social Security Administration was him.
Yep.
What happens when you do well by the country,
the
by
New
the public?
Deal.
New Deal. That was him too.
Yeah, I mean, I think whatever happened with Biden, I think that kind of sealed the Democrats' fate, you know. And as soon as Donald Trump and his team smelled that, it was like blood in the water. It's like, we got him. I don't have to worry about it. And you know, we're totally discounting Trump's assassination attempt. That kind of got blown off. Do you think the assassination attempt led him to have any more?
I don't think so. Honestly, I don't, because he didn't get any bump from that.
Now,
like, he didn't
weird?
Get that. Is that weird? No, because people hate Trump, man. He was an asshole.
I don't think it added anything to his campaign. I think people, for the most part, kind of forgot about it. You know.
Yeah, but the Republicans try to hype it up.
That's so crazy.
It's crazy, isn't it? People forgot about that shit. Like, damn, he only got his head blown off in like July, right? Was that July?
And that's what makes me think that, like, if people saw Trump as like somebody who was good, somebody who would do good things for them, then they would be like upset, like the MAGA people are. Right, but like most of America didn't give a fuck, because most of America don't like Trump. The reason he won was because this nigga just said, like, he gave people the reasons. Like, he was like, look, I'll do this shit. I'll fix the problem. That's all it took.
That's what he said verbatim. I'll do this shit. You know
I'll do this shit. I'll fix the problem. It's those brown people over there.
Yeah.
See those? It's them. Those guys are eating cats and dogs. The Haitians. They're the problem. I'll get rid of them. They're legal. It doesn't matter. They're not really legal. We'll undo that rule.
Yeah.
And people were just like, I don't know, man. Like, also, hey, there's another thing I gotta say. I've said this before, I know, but y'all understand charisma is a goddamn superpower. Okay?
It sure is.
It is.
100%.
It's a fucking mutant ability. Okay?
Yeah. It's a superpower.
Obama has it.
Look at Dwayne Johnson, bro.
Hitler had it.
Hitler had it.
Trump has
Trump has it. Yeah.
And nobody else right now has that kind of
not on that
power.
Level. Not on that level. Nah.
It's weird, man. People project what they want onto Trump. Like, D, the fact that you said, wouldn't you rather have a guy who tells you they're racist to your face? That shit, you're under fucking mind control, because that's a fucking wild thing to say. Fucking Trump has you hitting the charisma mind lock.
I think it's more dangerous.
Crazy.
I think it's more dangerous to lend your confidence to a person who hides that he's racist from you and still get your vote than
only a person with
tells you they're racist.
The Professor X level power of charisma will make you think that.
No, when I know what type of person you are versus what I think what type of person you are, that's a difference. Okay, and I think people can appreciate that they know what kind of person Trump is versus what he's projecting as his type of person.
I disagree.
I think that's totally 100% true.
Do you think Trump is racist?
Being genuine. If you can be genuine with me, I can appreciate that.
Do you think Trump is racist, dude?
Whether you're bigoted, at least I know you. I know who you are, and I know what to expect from you.
You think Trump is racist?
100%, yes.
And you think that it's okay for a racist to be president?
At least he can tell me that. I can appreciate the fact that he'll look me in my face and say something racist and own it, versus telling me what I want to hear in my face and saying something racist behind my back.
Look,
I can appreciate you.
Before we go back down that path, all I really wanted to say was fucking charisma is a goddamn superpower.
It is.
Right? And and people project what they want to onto Trump. He will go up and he will ramble and he'll say ridiculous things and he'll say racist shit, and people will be like, he doesn't really mean it.
hey, look at Dwayne Johnson, man. I'm sorry, I love Dwayne, but he's a bad actor. Dwayne Johnson's never really been a good actor.
But he's charismatic, isn't he?
He's charismatic as fuck, and has led to him being one of the most well-paid, respected actors in Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
if he ran for president, Nixon was fucking charismatic, man.
Mm-hmm.
Nixon was the goddamn devil, man, but he was charismatic as shit. Like, so I feel like that's one of the things that Democrats don't really have right now.
You're right.
We don't have.
In a
Biden was not charismatic when he won.
Charisma is everything.
Yeah, when Biden won, it was just because Trump was so fucking bad.
Trump. It was a vote against Trump for the most part.
It was like, we need fucking somebody.
Like, we need somebody.
Bernie.
Anybody else.
is charismatic.
Yes, he is.
Bernie Sanders is charismatic.
However,
and the DNC, he's just too goddamn left.
He exactly.
So the powers that be were like, nope,
we're not doing this.
Y'all can't tell me. Y'all will never be able to tell me that, like, in our timeline, we have a few pivotal points, and the DNC trashing Bernie was one of those turning points. Right? It was Harambe was a timeline turning point, and the DNC trashing Bernie. Timeline turning point, man.
Did y'all hear about the squirrel that they killed?
I heard something about a squirrel, and it was like a special squirrel that it was like for charity or something.
Yeah, man, it's fucking crazy. Anyway, just you said Harambe, it just reminded me of this squirrel, but yeah, nah, he was too left. Like, he's very charismatic though.
Like, he came out like right after Kamala lost, and he was like, yeah, the Democrats fucking abandoned working class people. He just said that shit straight up, and the fucking Nancy Pelosi had to come out and was like, that was uncalled for.
Dude, that is not true.
She was like, I respect him, but that was uncalled for. He fucking pissed her off. And he just said the shit, man. He was like, yeah, man, like, look, I've been trying to tell y'all, people need this, they need healthcare, they need higher wages.
That's what Bernie said too. I was trying to tell y'all this shit.
I'm trying to tell y'all this shit. And then, like, they're just like, hey, man, don't rub it in. Fuck.
Oh, shit.
Fucking timelines, man. So, yeah, we need a charisma, man. We need somebody in the Democratic Party. I don't know anybody right now.
A public space such as, I mean, there'll be somebody who will pop up and, you know, next election cycle, and we won't know who they are, and they'll be there. It's some senator or somebody who's, but you're right, charisma is everything, man. Like, how can you get the most people on your side, right? And charisma is one of those great things that just,
as a politician, 100%
everything
is very important. It's extremely important.
You need people to like you. You need to, you know.
And you need to have the ability to convince them, to put that energy out there, to convince them to listen to what you're saying, and like that what you're saying makes sense.
And be funny.
Be funny, be affable, be charismatic. Like, it's definitely a superpower.
But you know, listening to Kamala talk, I thought she was charismatic. I don't think she was like she wasn't a dullard or anything like that.
She's not on Trump's level of charismatic though.
No.
She's like a good debater. She's good in heated, like, she's good at heated things, right?
It's because she keeps her calm.
Fast, she's fast, right?
It's because she also keeps her calm,
mm-hmm.
and calm doesn't necessarily put her score very high on the charismatic scale.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like Trump, to your point, Trump is outlandish as fuck, right? Like, he'll say whatever the fuck, and that shit.
God, I hate this guy so much.
Like, he says some hateful shit, but sometimes you're like, damn, that was fucking funny.
He's funny as shit. That's why I hate him so much, because he will make me legitimately laugh.
Just like, oh my god,
and I hate that shit about him, man.
Yo, did you hear what he just said?
It's like, can you believe this motherfucker?
Right.
Oh my god, dude, I can't stand him.
It's like he says some
hateful,
bad shit.
As president of the United
charisma,
States,
mind power.
Always a good thing is to say whatever the fuck, you know. So that's why people don't like it.
It's not a good thing to say whatever the fuck. Normal people can't say whatever the fuck.
It's the charisma.
Normal people can't even say it.
Charisma people.
It's the charisma that makes people think that anything like that is even a little okay.
Yeah.
Right. If it makes you laugh, or if it's like, oh, they said it in such a way, like, you know, I kind of see their point. Nah.
Yeah,
he
got you. He got you. Like,
right.
If he says they're eating cats and dogs, and you're like, this motherfucker's crazy. No, he got you. Like, that's it. That's a crazy thing to say. There's no evidence. They debunked it time and time again. They were like, there's no instance. These photos they posted, this guy works for the city and he's getting rid of roadkill. They're like, nope, they're eating cats and dogs. And everybody's like, that's crazy. Ha ha ha.
You have throughout history, you have like dictators and like these leaders, right? Like, you know, for the bad shit and the good shit, all have a record of being extremely charismatic. Napoleon, Stalin, fucking Fidel Castro, extremely charismatic individual.
Yes.
You know, like, and then you have Hitler, Obama, Trump, you know, like all these people in these high positions of power leading nations are extremely
Malcolm X. Malcolm X, crazy charismatic. Yes, like you just fucking
by himself
bring you in. He brings you in
by himself. He's able to create an entire fucking movement on his own, just through his charisma, through his words, through talking. Right? Then you have like Martin Luther King, extremely charismatic individual.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not on the level of like some others, but like
but
charismatic individual. He's able to align people
in a different way.
You know, but it's like it's about the power. It's the power of like that energy that you put out there, that empathy that you put out there, the words, you know, being articulate, educated, you know, like that all goes in that umbrella of charisma. And you think about any like real like world leader, national leader, they have it. They have to.
They have to a degree,
the ones that have made like a true impact, whether negative or positive, in the world, they have to have charisma.
You have to have the ability to get people on your side with the words that you say and galvanize people behind one idea or person.
Yeah, like look at Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, extremely charismatic individuals, you know.
Yeah.
But they did some terrible shit for this nation, you know.
Yep.
Bill Clinton is another example. Oh my God, everybody loved him.
Yeah, people love Clinton.
They love Clinton, right?
Yeah, it's true.
But it's like charisma is so important.
We need like the Democrats. I'm under the idea that like we need to pull in a celebrity, like we need to pull a Trump. We need a leftist Trump. Like we need somebody, huh? The Rock?
Probably not, but like
probably not, but like that would be helpful.
Yo,
but...
you know who I want running. You know who I want running. This is the best thing ever. Denzel. Denzel is a good human being.
Like, he is authentic. I saw him fucking bantering it up recently.
A lot of interviews and everything, and
he's an authentic He's an authentic, good human being.
I feel like. Speaking of which, I saw Gladiator 2 yesterday. Did you see it?
Oh, I didn't see it yet.
I didn't see it yet. Denzel was everything. He was everything.
Oh, of course.
You wouldn't even have gone to see it. That movie theater was extremely packed too, and I bet you it was all for Denzel.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, that's why I'm gonna see it.
Yeah, Denzel. Like, what the fuck? I don't even know who else is. I heard Pedro Pascal is in it.
There is one moment.
There too.
He's in there too, right?
Yeah,
but I'm going to see Denzel. That's the only reason. Like,
yeah, there is.
I don't know anybody else.
He plays the bad guy.
Look, you expected Denzel to say "my nigga" or "motherfucker" or something. You know what I mean? You expected the old Denzel to pop out, but he didn't do it. He stayed in character. I was like, okay, good. Thank you, man.
So, you mother.
There's one moment in there where you're like, oh, he's gonna do it. He didn't say that
Get
shit.
your fucking hands off me.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx.
Get your fucking hands off me, Aurelius. Don't fucking touch me, Aurelius. Maximus, get your fucking hands off me.
And it's weird too because
who you are, Maximus.
He's still Denzel, but he's still Denzel, but he's just in ancient Rome.
Yeah,
but he's still Denzel. You know what I'm saying?
Because that's why they brought him in. They were like, "Look, we got to tell this story, but nobody's gonna give a fuck.
We got to make sure we got to
somebody get Denzel in here.
We got to work around Denzel. We got to work around.
Yeah,
him. He's here. Let's just take the gift.
Yeah,
shoot around this
motherfucker. It was all right though. You know, as you can expect, coming out 20 some odd years later, is nowhere near the original. The original is way better. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I need to rewatch the original again.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I mean, the original was just everything. So,
what about Shaq? Probably too many scandals.
Shaq,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Shaq, like, I feel like Shaq is like,
I feel like
I don't
Shaq
think
is
he's
very
got that
selfish.
personality.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got the personality. Like he's got charisma, but it's so subdued. And I feel like to him everything is a joke, right? He'll just be puzzled the entire time.
Also, he was like
I don't know. He seems
not.
real stuck up to me.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. He's too. I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, we need somebody who actually gives a fuck. And Jon Stewart, for the Daily Show.
That's not a bad choice.
He actually cares, like in his personal life. He actually gives a fuck about like politics and like people. But like, I don't know, man. It's like, who's like will be an authentic leftist person, or at least a Democrat.
Denzel, 100%. But Denzel, I think
he also doesn't. He doesn't want any of it.
Denzel is going to be like Bernie Sanders, though. He's too real. Like, he is straight up, like with everything he says, and the DNC
That's exactly
is not
what we need.
like that.
No, they won't.
That's what I mean. We do need that, but the DNC will never take someone that is that truthful on their side. You know, like they won't take anybody like that. I mean, look at Bernie again. You know, like they just won't have it.
Man, but remember the fucking the RNC, the Republicans didn't want Trump. This motherfucker just happened to win because he ran against Hillary.
Right.
But they didn't want him. But like, if we could just get,
but they didn't want a woman more.
Hillary was authentically bad though.
Yeah,
she was bad.
She was like specifically bad.
About charisma, I don't think Hillary had it.
No,
she didn't have it. She didn't have it. She like her campaign was basically because she was a woman for the most part.
Just on surface level, I mean, regardless of woman status.
Also, we were tired of Clintons.
Kamala 10 times over Hillary.
Yeah,
Kamala seems more real, more genuine.
Yeah, you know? Of course. And it's not just because she's black.
No, that should have been cool. I just, man, another timeline pivot, man.
Nah,
hey, the black versus white thing doesn't always work because I'd rather have the white Steve Rogers than the white Captain America than the black one because the black one don't even have serum. You know what I mean? So it's not a direct apples to apples comparison. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't always pick a guy just because he's
I know
black.
what you said. I know exactly what you're saying.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
Man.
Serum
makes no fucking sense.
Look, hey, how about we got a bunch of B raiders running around with serum ain't doing shit? How about that? How about none of these serum having Bamas?
Who?
Hey, nobody ever said Sam was heroic and brave.
None of these serum having Bamas out here holding the shield, man. How about that?
I'll tell you on that, yeah. It's a bunch of serum having motherfuckers. They ain't got no shield.
Is respecting the choice that his best friend made to give Sam the shield.
As he should, because he wasn't ready. That's all I'm saying. He just wasn't ready. All right, segue.
100% ready.
Let's do this, man.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, but wrap up to Trump. I guess we just gotta brace and see where everything goes and just hope for the best as a country, right? Because we're all in it for the long haul now. We got 4 years.
Project 2025 is implemented, let's say 30%. We're gonna see some dramatic changes in this country. Yeah. And they're not gonna be good. It's gonna be some revolutionary, conservative shit. Like, we thought the fucking 90s were weird with the fucking satanic panic and all this kind of shit. Like, there will be no more porn. There will be no more porn. Porn's gone. Gone.
Don't
it'll be underground.
He said, "Don't do this."
What?
He said, "Don't do this."
I'm saying porn's gone.
Don't do this.
It's one of the joys of being an American, man. You know,
gone.
Porn, man.
Contraceptives.
Yes.
Gone. Like, y'all trying not to get pregnant, but y'all fucking no.
This man.
Abortion, no.
This man appointed RFK Jr. in charge of healthcare.
Oh, yeah.
That means women's rights. That means women's rights and women's health rights gone.
Gone.
Out the door.
30%, man. 30%.
Doesn't believe in abortion. Doesn't believe in contraceptives, and he condones rape, apparently.
That's not even talk about goddamn fucking Supreme Court picks. Like Clarence, like we're gonna have like all the old ones are gonna retire, and he's just gonna throw in new, fresh Nazis.
The new, fresh racists.
Yeah, we gotta have a man. Like I'm guaranteeing somehow, goddamn, what's his name, man? It doesn't matter. Like this is gonna be some new black racist, black hate. It's gonna be a new black hating, Supreme Court justice gonna replace Clarence Thomas.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be wild, man. Like
there's gonna be some new black hating Supreme Justice,
black ass, black hating black man. So y'all niggas is too goddamn.
Y'all too free.
Y'all all this goddamn freedom. You
walking around.
Oh, yo, they already talking about everything DEI, like any diversity, equity, inclusion, anything. Gone. They're already working on that shit, man. Like our children are gonna have a fucking different life, right? Like there will be no, I don't know, man. I'm trying not to be doomer, but like the fucking lines are being drawn. They're putting the fucking walls back up. Right? Like if you had a recourse for dealing with racism, if someone was racist to you and you had a recourse for dealing with it, they're dismantling the recourse. Like you won't be able to take that shit to fucking court. It won't be a problem anymore. Right? You'll be by stopping them being racist, you'll be impinging on their freedom to be racist.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a thing now.
Freedom of speech,
God forbid you infringe on their comfort, to be racist towards you. Then that's something that can be brought up against you too.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Because white comfort is.
Oh, dude. The shit they're talking about going against HBCUs because they shouldn't be like, even though the reason they're created was because black people weren't allowed to go to white schools. Now it's going to be turned.
Exactly.
But they're like, the crazy shit is like these politicians are proposing like rules and laws and anything LGBTQ, like the whole trans thing, man, like the fucking
bathrooms.
Oh my God, dude. Anyway, try not to be doomer. Yeah, it's gonna be rough, dude.
Doomer. I mean, I remember when the first term. Now, obviously, every term is different. That's 8 years ago. But
he didn't have this apparatus.
I know everybody was
now.
doomer then, and we made it through. We made it through as a country, and we
things are different now, though. Things are different.
It is different.
He's got the machine behind him now. He was pushing against the machine. Now the machine, he fired them and he replaced them with the loyalists.
Even and like you said, I think even the Republicans were like, they didn't want him. Everybody was shocked that he won that first time. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think they kind of just fell into it and let things play out. Now they're going into it with a dedicated plan.
With action.
This is what we are going to do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Prison industrial complex is about to get a fucking like adrenaline boost.
You're kicking the pants and shit. No.
Anyway,
I don't think that ever slowed down. It's too much money to be made.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yep.